Hello everyone, this story comes from a throwaway account. My boyfriend's ex, 30 female, spent the night in my bed with my boyfriend, 30 male, but he recorded it to show me, 25 female, nothing happened. How do we overcome this? Oh boy, off to a strong start. I'm extremely hurt, but to my boyfriend's credit, he was very upfront about everything. He texted me immediately the morning after to tell me everything. My boyfriend, let's call him James, broke up with his ex-girlfriend, Winnie, about 2 years ago. They chose to stay friends, and this has caused some issues between James and I, mostly because Winnie just can't get over the breakup. She thinks her and James are soulmates, and she just refuses to accept that he stopped being in love with her. So a conversation they will very often have is James literally spending hours going over the logic of why he broke up with her. He tries to reassure her since they're still friends and she's hurting, but I have witnessed some of these conversations and he's loving but firm. I suspect some of you will say there's still something going on, but there really isn't. James is definitely over her. James and I moved in together just 2 weeks ago, and this has caused Winnie to be worse than ever. Like she relapsed with the depression and the crying fits. They're happening constantly again. I went back to my parents' place this weekend because I had to pack my car full of some more of my things, and I spent Saturday night there. Winnie must have known this because Saturday night she showed up at our place, crying, wailing, the works. We have a doorbell camera, and I got a notification as soon as she was at the door. I didn't see it right away, but as soon as I saw it, I texted and called James and checked our indoor camera to see what was going on. This is where James messed up, and he admits that he messed up. He didn't text me the whole night while Winnie was there. So all I knew was that she showed up. I checked our indoor camera we keep in the living room by the front door, and it was turned off. This is normal. We only turn it on when we're away from home. But I was extremely upset and distraught as I was imagining the worst. I trust James, but I just didn't understand why he wouldn't answer my calls, and he admits it was horrible of him. I was ready to break up with him Sunday morning, but he texted me and immediately let me know that Winnie had come over. He said it sounds really bad, but she spent the night but nothing happened, and he set up our indoor camera in the bedroom to prove it. I didn't want to believe him, but I did watch the footage, and even though it shows both of them laying in bed, it's true that Winnie was just crying while James was consoling her. There are some things he did that bother me a lot. At some point he kissed her forehead, and he hugged her and held her close several times. I'm honestly speechless at that, but I understand he knew there was a camera on him the whole time, and he knew I would see him doing that. So I guess he doesn't see that as cheating. So basically, James is asking me for understanding and for forgiveness. I have the proof that nothing happened, but I'm still hurt. This isn't how I imagined us starting our life together. What are the healthy next steps for our relationship? Quick comment from me before we get to what Reddit thinks. You are fully capable as adults to set up clear boundaries here. If his ex is making your relationship uncomfortable because of how much she injects herself into your boyfriend's life, you are within your right to communicate that to him, to let him know it's more than you're willing to deal with. Relationships of any kind have a lot of negotiation in order to make both people involved happy. And if he cares more about his commitment to you than to his ex, he will stand by that and keep her at a healthy distance. I understand it can be hard to let go of someone that was important to you in the past, but your boyfriend has no obligation to act as her therapist. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let's see what everyone else says about it. Top comment from Quet Quet. The ex knew that you went back to your parents because your boyfriend told her. He doesn't help her to move on by being the one to console her. He just makes it harder for her because he enjoys being the one who went away. It will never get better. Comment from MS Paint Warrior. Whether James done anything with his ex at the weekend, he is out of order for putting you through their friendship if you've expressed that it makes you feel uncomfortable. He's enjoying the attention from both of you, and he's leading this girl along by not holding your boundaries and having some with her. Entirely inappropriate for her to be turning up at your home. Is this something that happens often? How did she know you weren't home? Likely because he told her. You're giving James too much credit here. He needs to get this woman out his life, as they're not in a position to be friends if she's still in love with him. Response from OP. I've tried to communicate that to him, but he seems to be convinced that she really needs his help, And yeah, I didn't ask how she knew to come over the one night I wasn't there, but I assumed he told her. I didn't think too much about that. I assumed she probably asked him what's up, and he said something like, "Oh, my girlfriend isn't here. I'm just spending the night alone." Do you think I should ask him if he invited her over? Follow up by Lucy in the Sky 26OP. Is this relationship really worth it? Your boyfriend is consoling his ex in your bed all night while you're away. On the surface, how does this not bother you at all? If my fiance was not only friends with his ex but consoled her in our bed, he wouldn't be my fiance anymore. Respect yourself, girl, because he sure as shit doesn't respect you. Dump him, grieve the relationship, and date a man who doesn't get enjoyment from receiving attention from two women at once. Good luck. Good. Comment from Poppy Pie 77. Also, they could have had sex before he turned the camera on. There was also no reason to bring her upstairs to bed and sleep next to her, or cuddle up to her, or kiss her on the head affectionately. He could have called her a cab to take her home. He could have let her sleep on the couch. He should have turned the cameras on the minute she arrived. He shouldn't have even allowed her in the house while he was alone, knowing she has deep feelings for him and you're not there. But to let her sleep in your bed and cuddle up to her is so disrespectful and shows he doesn't care about your feelings. And he is cheating. He's emotionally cheating by enjoying the ex being obsessed with him, cuddling her in bed and kissing her affectionately on the head. Would he honestly be okay with you cuddling up to and holding your ex-boyfriend in his bed, snuggling him and kissing him on the head? I doubt it very much. He's emotionally cheating and crossing the line of respectful boundaries with an ex, and he's not doing her any favors by maintaining a friendship in contact with someone who can't get over their breakup and is having obvious mental health crisis and emotional breakdowns all the time. He needs to cut contact for her benefit, as he's not helping her move on, and seeing you two together just tortures her more. But I'd be ending this relationship after he chose to invite her upstairs to share the bed together and was cuddling up to her and kissed her head. That crosses major boundaries. And there's no guarantee they didn't have sex downstairs on the sofa or in bed before he turned the camera on. Comment from Matcha Magpie. What do you mean nothing happened? He held her, kissed her, and had her in your bed. That isn't nothing. Have some self-respect. And final comment I want to highlight by Entertaining Tuesday. Your boyfriend is enabling her. If you want to still have a relationship with your BF after this, I would be ending it. Then you need to make it clear that Winnie needs to find a way to move on and get help for herself that doesn't involve your BF, aka no contact. You say you have proof that nothing happened? I mean, sure, if your only concern is physical. You seem to be making excuses for him because he eventually told you. You have ample proof that you are in a very fucked situation. His ex should not be coming to the place you live without a heads up. He is allowed to have guests, as you are, but being in a relationship together means you share things like that. Him setting up the cameras, him knowing what happened wasn't right, and he was setting up a way to lessen the hurt from it. Him not messaging you back is whack. He is enabling her. It has been 2 years, and this is happening. It will continue to happen while he lets it. You say he is over her, and maybe that is true in a romantic sense, but he clearly isn't over the attention she gives him. The issue for me is that this has been going on your whole relationship, and he has seen nothing wrong with it. For that, it would be enough for me to end it. He didn't see how this was wrong, disrespectful to your relationship, and enabling Winnie to keep doing this. On the flip side, if you want to stay and try to make it work, I think you need to be clear and say you don't see a way forward where your relationship works while he is prioritizing and enabling Winnie. Personally, I hope you act on your initial instinct to break up. He knew this was wrong. That is why he set up the camera to cover his back. So convenient that she knew to come over the day you aren't there. He shouldn't be her support system in the first place. And you, your BF, and Winnie all know that she still loves him. This is so whack. I hope you find the self-respect to deal with this and not let him off the hook if you decide to stay. So yeah, definitely seems like Reddit agrees here. OP is allowing them to disrespect her by not putting up boundaries, like I mentioned before. And ultimately, whether or not you think that her boyfriend is being manipulative, cheating, or he is genuinely concerned about his ex's mental well-being, it is coming at the cost of his relationship. At the end of the day, it's your actions that people hold you accountable to, and his seems to prioritize that of his ex. rather than OP. But that's enough from me. Thank you all for listening. As always, stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.